Back in 1981 in New Jersey, the Republican National Committee created the National Ballot Security Task Force. And what this task force was responsible for doing was to discourage likely Democratic voters to turn out for the election. That was successful. The governor at the time, Tom Keene, ended up winning the election by a little under 2,000 votes. And what this task force consisted of was armed, off duty police officers who patrolled Black and Hispanic neighborhoods. With that being said, the Democrats complained and they felt that this organization fuckery violated the Voting Rights Act, and a decree was declared. And basically, what the decree did in practice was essentially ban the RNC from participating in any type of poll watching or initiatives adjacent to that. There's a lot more about this in different news stories that you can go back to. I'll try my best to link those in the description. Why does all this matter? Because back in 2017, that decree expired under a judge by the name of John Michael Vasquez, who argued that the Democratic Party, and by extension the DNC, did not provide sufficient enough evidence to suggest that Donald Trump and the Republican National Committee were working together in collaboration to undermine voters. So, just for context, this decree, this restriction for the participation of creating task forces and by extension poll watching has been in effect for quite literally as long as a lot of us who've been watching have been alive. So from 1982 all the way to 2017, the Republican National Committee could not participate in any level of like poll watching, not in a substantive manner. Since that decree ended, as we've seen as early as today, there are efforts for people to participate in some level of poll watching, observation of the polls, and there can be a lot of, for lack of a better term, fuckery that can ensue. And the thing that I'm thinking about in at this point of the game on Tuesday morning, as I record this, is there's a lot of people out there in America right now that will never know about who got discouraged from voting due to the Republicans' efforts when it comes to electoralism. And I think moving forward, our political energy needs to be concentrated in such a way to make sure that the Democrats and the Democratic Party and whoever is aligned in being against this brings forth better evidence so that we can get this injunction again. I think that it was unwise for Judge Vasquez to let the decree expire. And I think, given the context of the past 8 years now, I think there's enough evidence to suggest that the RNC should no longer be allowed to do these type of things. I'm going to put some information in the description, and I just want people to think about that, right? So for almost over 30 years, the RNC was not allowed to canvass. When they say have ballot watchers, right? And because of a decree that was allowed to expire in 2017, we're now back in the same position, essentially, that we were in 1981. That people are overtly being intimidated so that they don't vote. And we won't know the actual repercussions of that because those type of stories don't make it into the limelight. But just like when Thomas Kean won the gubernatorial election by under 2,000 votes, it might be the same situation where Donald Trump wins by under 2,000 votes. And it makes me wonder, in all the Democratic irresponsibility from their own election, Republicans probably allowed some voters, not a big chunk, but enough in key places so that the election goes to Donald Trump. So if the election goes to Donald Trump, that's going to be on my mind. It's going to be on my mind quite a bit. My name is Joe Lewis. I practice talking on the internet. And even if you feel intimidated, please go vote. All right? Don't let these people bully you. And if they do bully you, record them, document them, so that we can use the powers that be to bring forth enough evidence so that we can get this decree back in the books. All right? Sound good? Sounds good. I'll see you soon.